I shouldn't be here. My brother should be alive. And this next generation, they're not marching for another 30 years.
The breeze stops blowing. The sun just leaves the sky.
We've been working on I Am Sac Foundation. You can find that online at IamSacFoundation.com. But most importantly, we've been working on bridging the gap between law enforcement and at-risk community, providing resources and healing spaces for those in need in our community, informing and educating about policy and legislative change, because I believe that is legacy on paper. We've been working on receiving recommendations from the community on how to prevent Stevante Clarks from ever happening again across this country. We've been working on spreading the gospel of love. Everybody love everybody. Much more work needs to be done when it comes to community sustainability, intellectual independence, and of course, inclusive economic development. So I want to make sure our kids have the tools to be able to teach themselves how to fish and eat and grow their own food. So that's what we've been doing. We've been trying to work on building our village in a way it should look like. Stevante Clark law was passed at the ending of 2018 or the beginning of 2019, and we're trying to get that implemented on a national model. At first, my passion wasn't directed. Passion without direction is chaos. Passion with direction is purpose. So now that my passion is directed, I'm able to fulfill my purpose in a more articulate, efficient way. This is history. This is history. Look at the crowd. Look at the people. Look at our people. Look at black people. What do we do next is the question. What are our actionable items next? How do we move forward? What do we do?
All right. Thank you all for tuning in for a special conversation with Mr. Clark. Much love and prayers to my boy Stunner Chips, who's got the hospital. Sending love and light, brother. So today's episode is about bridging the gap. I'm always talking about bridging the gap because bridging the gap is very important. And I believe in doing that through dialogue. I've said that numerous times. We have to have the dialogue. What does the healthy community look like? JFK says one person can make a difference, but everyone should try. I believe in that wholeheartedly. Everybody should try to make a difference because this work is going to take support from everybody, not just me, not just certain community leaders, but everybody's going to have to participate when it comes to this hard work. So what does a healthy community look like? I believe that must start with our own communities to improve the relationship among one another. What does a healthy community look like? We need to get back into having those conversations, those talks, that mindset, and diving into the relationships we have with one another in the community so that way we can answer that wholeheartedly on what a healthy community looks like. If you were to ask me what a healthy community looks like, I would tell you a healthy community is a safe community, a community where you don't get shot 20 times in your grandmother's backyard, a community where you don't get choked out for allegedly selling cigarettes in front of a store, a community where you're not murdered in the middle of the street by a neighborhood cop, or you're not murdered by a security guard for loud music. That is a safe community to me. And I don't believe we've been having the dialogue when it comes to a safe community on all levels. Yeah, JFK said one person can make a difference, but everyone should try. Can you imagine if everyone made a attempt to do better when it pertains to working together and bridging those gaps and connecting with one another? Can you imagine what difference it'll make in our community and when it comes to unity if we all tried to make a difference together on the same accord? Helen Keller, she said, alone we could do so little, but together we could do so much. We haven't been in that way. We've been doing things alone in our own little world, in our own bubbles, in our own circles. And I'm saying enough is enough. We cannot do things in our independent circles and expect to get things done on a village accord. The village only works if the community is coming together in the same with a set of code, with an agenda, and if there's not an agenda, we're creating an agenda before we get there. And the reason it's you have to have an agenda is because if you don't have an agenda, you don't know what the discussion is. You don't know what the focal point is. You don't know what the fight is. You don't know what the attack is. You don't know what the ask is. And so I'm not doing any meetings unless I have an agenda. And if that person does not come up and have an agenda, I'm not doing the meeting. And if I'm asking to have a meeting, I am putting the things on the agenda. I will make sure I have things on the agenda so that way we can tackle those things piece by piece, section by section, article by article. You hear what I'm saying? We would like to see a high quality of life in our undeserved, underrepresented, and at-risk communities. We believe that one of the ways of doing that is by making wellness a priority. Health and wellness, resources and healing spaces. You look at we've been so fucked as a people. What's very important is that slavery. Look at slavery. You look at Reconstruction system. You look at Jim Crow. You look at legal segregation. You look at the height of the civil rights movement. You look at the 70s and the white backlash that came in the 70s. The black agenda is where black people are being included in an American democratic experimentation on all levels and not just some levels. The prison industrial complex system is screwing our people over. There's a brother in here. I got the rugs, 93. He said you need a dentist. That should be your agenda. I got a comedian here. Well, brother, you're on the wrong live. So we're gonna get you out of here because we're not with divisive rhetoric. We're trying to get things done, brother. Love you, but don't love you. Gotta go. We love everybody. And then what's that on my head? And this guy has to go too because this is like not actionable items. So for me, the way I do my lives are if you're saying something that has nothing to do with the our people moving forward as a whole, if you're not saying nothing on these lives to uplift our people, to grow with our people, to build our people, I'm gonna kick your ass out and block you like any normal person should. So back to what I was saying. The prison industrial complex system, the unemployment rates, the disgraced school system, the housing, the number one on infant mortality, the number one on, we're number one, black people, I'm gonna be honest, we're number one in football and basketball and hockey, number one in tennis and all these things, but we're also number one on infant mortality. We're also number one on the short life expectancy by 7 years. We're also number one on student loan defaults. We're also number one on credit card scams. We're also number one on home and church foreclosures. So the black agenda, if you ask me, is the best agenda for the nation. The black agenda is the American agenda. The urban agenda is more than public housing. The healthcare agenda is more than just Obamacare and universal healthcare. It's more than that, okay? So we have to understand what our agendas are, because if we don't be consistent with our fight when it pertains to these agendas, then they're not going to be talking about us no more. You'll see it become a moment and not the movement. You'll see them start talking about the white middle-aged Americans or the women or labor or stop this hate or stop that crime and fight for these people. Is because we haven't been consistent and persistent with our agenda. We've been distracted by the scarf. You so focused on the scarf. You focused on what I look like, my tie, and all this. Y'all so focused on the most stupidest things, and we're not able to get things done because we're distracted by things that do not matter. Instead, we should be coming together with solutions for the homeless epidemic, for the food deserts in our communities, for the dropout factories that our kids are being sent to. But instead of doing that, we are so worried about clothes, materialism, individualism, and that's why your children's children will never have generational wealth. That's why you will always be a corporate slave. That's why your name will never live on for generations and generations long after you and I have left this earth, because you are a slave to materialism and individualism, and you're too damn selfish and you're lazy. And I love the people. I love the people. But what we will not do is tolerate divisive rhetoric within this movement. We will not tolerate hate within this movement. This is a gospel of love, but it's a gospel of actionable items as well. We cannot move on forward and bridge the gap through having dialogue if everything's always a fucking joke. My mom used to say, the same shit make you laugh will be the same shit to make you cry. The same shit to make you laugh will be the same shit to make you cry. Teddy Roosevelt says, speak softly and carry a big stick. Speak softly and carry a big stick. When it comes to the bridging the gap, one of the many ways we plan on doing it by making wellness our priority, by coming together when it comes to loving our neighbor and doing unto others as we would have them do unto ourselves. We believe wholeheartedly in treating others the way we would like to be treated and getting back to the basics and providing emotional and financial support to the underfunded, underrepresented, and at-risk communities. We would like our community to not only learn how to feed themselves, but to feed themselves. We believe that this is the perfect way for getting community aligned with community. This cannot be achieved without a healthy partnership from elected officials, community leaders, law enforcement, etc. Bridge the gap, begin the dialogue, especially on community policing. We got to focus on the police. Community policing, focus on police working closely with communities who they are sworn to protect and serve. If the police don't want to study and practice community policing, we don't need the police. Why have the police? What use is the police if they don't do what they're supposed to be doing? If they're not learning the community by name, if they're not interacting with the community with love, if we don't have a healthy relationship between law enforcement and those who provide their paychecks, then it's a failed system. Because in this communities, in the communities that we fight in and we live in, it feels like communities or police, are concerned with property more than people. And until we as a community stop that, then we'll keep being held back by divisive rhetoric. And I believe there has to be a way for all of us to come together and build and learn from each other. And so on and so forth. Black people have been 28% of those killed by police in 2020, despite only 13% of the population. And I've said this since day one, that police have killed nearly 1,000 people every year. Even in the year 2020, so far they've killed over 500 people already. We are at the beginning stages of the mission when it comes to achieving the vision. We are at the beginning stages. This fight is not, I can do this, just do this, but I can't do this without the support of the people. This is pointless without the support of the people. Everybody want to do the rap shows. Everybody want to have a platform. Everybody want to get out there and do something, but don't nobody really want to be out there in the streets with the people, making sure things get done on a higher level. I'm telling you right now, I'm telling everybody right now, if we don't come together and start bridging these gaps, having these programs with these de-escalation tackle teams, these restoration teams, if we're not out there beginning the dialogue on community sustainability, community policing, finding out how we connect, finding out how we could be more closer than divided. A house that is divided cannot stand, A house that is divided will fall. We have to be a house that is together and connected. And we can't get distracted by the individualism and the materialism, okay? The individualism is something that has been implemented in these people's heads. I don't know since when or how, but this individualism has to stop. The materialism has to stop. The love for things, you cannot take these things with you. And you should not let these things define you. And you shouldn't let the scarf or nothing define you either, or the tie or the jewelry or nothing, because you look crazy. And I know I'm not the perfect person. I know, I'm not the best or the greatest person. My scarf might be on wrong. My teeth ain't all that perfect. My nose might be a little bit too wide. My ears might be too little. I know I'm not the perfect person, but damn it, I'm not trying to be the perfect person. I don't want to be the perfect person. The only person I'm trying to be perfect for is God. And thank God y'all ain't God. Because a lot of y'all just are really hateful, mean-spirited people who need help, who need therapy. I take therapy. I go to therapy. And I make sure I do. And today, it was crazy because I was talking to family. I was at home and I was getting my ties together and I was getting suited up and all that. And I was looking in the mirror and I said, man, imagine doing this, fighting for people every day. Imagine me waking up, putting this tie on every day, suiting up every day, fighting for people who don't even want to fight for their damn selves. I look stupid. I'm fighting for people who don't even give a damn about their own people. The black agenda is the American agenda. But we cannot get to understand and expect them to include us into their American experimentations if we are not playing our part when it comes to connecting our own. That's why I'm pissed off. Our next meeting is Sunday. We have Stevante Clark Sundays. I got to wrap this up soon. But what I want to do is what I want to leave with you guys. I don't want to say too much. I got to save some of my stuff for you. What I'm trying to say is we've came too far since slavery, since the Reconstruction period, since Jim Crow, legal segregation, since the height of the civil rights movement. We came too far. We came too far to go backwards. Way too far. That's why we need to focus on the prison industrial complex system, unemployment rates, the housing, the disgraced school system, the food deserts, the infant mortality, the short expectancy of the short life expectancy by 7 years, the student loan defaults, the credit card scams, the home foreclosures, the public housing, the homelessness, the rent, the gangbanging. We got so much to focus on. The last thing I'm thinking about is my scarf, how I look today, how I'm feeling. No. Our people are dying. Physically, emotionally, financially, economically. We are dying out here. And because a lot of people think everything's so fucking funny. It's so funny until you've been affected by this criminal justice system. It's so funny until you've been affected by this unjust healthcare system. It's so funny until you've been affected by the damn law enforcement killing your brother in the backyard. It's funny until it happens to you. It's all fun and games. You can all make jokes and all that weird shit until it happens to you. And that's sad. That's why my mom says a hard head make a soft ass. Same shit make you laugh will make you cry. Y'all, everybody want to be gangsters. I get it. All the women want to be the most beautiful people with the million followers. But that don't get you shit. The car don't get you shit. Your likes and followers, the people that like and follow you on a social media really don't even like your ass in real life. Being honest, and they don't follow you for shit. Hitler had millions of followers. Jesus only had 12. That should tell you something. That should tell you something. Whenever I go on the internet, what I'm seeing is kids fighting, adults fighting, people with guns, Instagram models. And I don't see nothing that's going to build me equity. That's going to take me from a $35,000 a year lifestyle to a $100,000 a year lifestyle. That's what I need help with. I need help with the fishing aspect. I don't need help how to dress. I don't need help with how to dance, how to rap. No, I need help taking me from a low quality of life to a high quality of life. How are you going to help me fish? How are you going to help me take care of my children's children for generations and generations long after you and I have left this earth? Because if you are not feeding me, you are eating off me. And I ain't got no time for people to be eating off my motherfucking plate because I work too hard. I put too much hard work in it. And, you know, I'm going to cut it short. I got a tour coming up. The tour starts on August 27th. It will be ending in November or probably December 4th, maybe January 1st. I might extend it. But we gotta get, look, black people, we gotta get our shit together, yo. For real. Niggas killing niggas while they killing us. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this shit. I'm just sick of it. I'm you know, black people, I'm willing to have those tough meetings and conversations. I'm willing to sit down and bridge the gap. Cuss me out. Tell me I ain't shit. I don't care. I done heard words from more important people, trust me. But I'm willing to have the transformative, restorative, and social justice meaning that it takes to bridge the gap between community and community. Because I'm tired of leaders selling out their people. I'm sick of leaders selling out their people. I'm sick of our elders being okay with the youth killing each other off. Our elders needs to tell these young guys to put the guns down. Because they killing our people off. We only 13% of the population. It's not like there's many of us. We're almost half the prison population. We're the highest when it comes to the homelessness. We're the highest when it comes to being evicted. We're the highest when it comes to rent being raised. We're the highest when it comes to being shot in the streets like dogs. Maybe we need to go back to church as a community. I don't know. And then I don't want to talk about the Democrats because the Democratic Party, which started out as the Dixiecrats who founded the Ku Klux Klan, the Dixiecrats, the Democrats, the Dixiecrats started the KKK. I've said numerous times, I'd rather you be sometimes, and I'm a libertarian, I'd rather you be... Sometimes, maybe I should save that conversation for another topic, my Democratic conversations. But the Democratic Party, the hell with the Democratic Party. I don't have time to think about no damn Democratic Party. Because I'm focused about black people. We need our own political parties as black people. Because the Democratic Party, they only want to agree on a few moral issues. They want to stand for a few things, but not stand for all things. And we don't need those type of people no more. Understand with us on some issues, but not all issues. No. We need a party that's going to represent us. Martin Luther King Jr. was a Republican. Abraham Lincoln, Obama's favorite president, the president who freed the slaves, was a Republican. It's called the California Republic for a reason. Harriet Tubman was a Republican. Malcolm X was a Republican. It's called the California Republic for a reason. I'm a libertarian. I believe more freedom, less government. I believe whatever you do with your body is up to you. Whatever you do is on you. The government should stay out of it. More freedom, less government. That's what libertarian means. But we don't win. It's because we have been sold. We have been sold on the Democratic Party and their lies. The Democrats have sold out black people. The Republicans have sold out black people. Politics in general has sold out black people and threw away the key, because the only time politics matter to black people or when black people are involved is when they're trying to get our votes, when they're trying to get our dollars, when they're trying to save their own ass in their own elections. So I'm done discussing the Democratic Party. I just want to say we have a Sac State program within the I Am Sac Foundation. Number one, being bridge the gap between law enforcement and at-risk community. Number two, being inform and educate on policy and legislative change. Number three, being providing resources and healing spaces for those in need in our community. Number four, being commemorating the life and legacy of my brother Stevante Clark, so that his name may live in a positive light for generations after you and I have left this earth. Number five, receiving recommendations on how to prevent Stevante Clark from ever happening again. And number six, spreading the gospel of love. John 15:12 says, love each other as I have loved you. If you skip down to John 15:18, it says, the world hates you, know they hated me long before they ever hated you. Everybody love everybody. That's our story, and we're sticking to it. So before I leave, I like to play this song. It's my brother's tribute. It's called Stefan. So check it out. I love you all. Thank you all for joining me. God bless you.
I've been a lost nigga. This what it costs, nigga. Oh, he's the fraud. I'm the boss, nigga. Ever since I left the fun, I've been a lost nigga. You see, I pay the price, it's what it costs, nigga. Oh, she don't wanna fuck you, you's a fraud, nigga. I do this for Stefan, I'm still a boss, nigga. Ever since I lost Stefan, I've been a lost nigga. You see, I pay the price, that's what it costs, nigga. Okay, oh, she don't wanna fuck you, you's a fraud, nigga. Okay, I do this for Stefan, I'm still a boss, nigga. I do this shit for Jalen and for Kaylin, nigga. I do this shit for Cairo and for Aiden, nigga. I do this for Kiara, I ain't playing, nigga. I do this for my mama, I'm just saying, nigga. I want us all together while you hate, nigga. I've been counting money, dodging hate, nigga. Trying to smoke the pain away like I can't take it, nigga. You can have my shoes all fuck being famous, niggas. You know my life a movie, ain't no acting, nigga. I ain't tapping, nigga. Fuck bragging, nigga. I want the pain to disappear like AIDS with magic, nigga. I lost half my family. Fuck this rapping, nigga. Ever since I left the fun, I've been a lost nigga. You see, I pay the price, it's what it costs, nigga. Oh, she don't wanna fuck you, you's a fraud, nigga. I do this for Stefan, I'm still a boss, nigga. Ever since I lost Stefan, I've been a lost nigga. You see, I pay the price, it's what it costs, nigga. No, she don't wanna fuck you, you's a fraud, nigga. I do this for Stefan, I'm still a boss, nigga.